Welcome back, folks. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Zach Popcorn. And I'm in my full duds tonight, as you can see. I'm all dressed up because I think this is our biggest one yet. This is the one that I've been most excited to bring you. This is my first 2027 Academy Awards preview, the 99th Oscars. I wanted to get this out on Sunday. I wanted to get this out right after the 98th Oscars. I wanted to do it that night. But honestly, I was just doing research, too much research. I didn't want to give you guys a half-assed effort. I kept adding movies. I wanted to actually know who was in these movies, at least have like it written down so I could even try to start remembering it, who's in these movies, who's making these movies. Um, Whether I know how to pronounce who's making these movies and who's in some of these movies, we'll get to as we go later on in this video. I think the pronunciations is going to be a journey that we're all going to have to we're going to have to go on together. But yeah, let's get right to it. I don't think there's much of a preamble. We're going over. I don't like saying way too early because it's never too early to go over the Oscars. I think that if you wanted to go way too early for the 100th Academy Awards, even that might be a stretch. Like, because there's some contenders already in the mix. Like, how early can I do 100th Academy Awards preview? Maybe soon after. But right now we're focused on the 99th, which is an exciting number. It's like the second most exciting number behind 100th, maybe, or like 50th. I don't know. Let's get to it, shall we? Are we sharing? No, we're not. Yes, we are. Ah! Oh, none of you guys saw that. Yeah. The first 2027 Oscars preview. I was going to say the first ever when I was putting this thing together the week leading up to the Oscars, but that would be lying at this point because so many people are putting out their previews. I already feel like I'm falling behind with this Oscars, like preparation and Oscars content, I should say, as lame as that is. Because even last year, when I didn't have a crummy little YouTube channel to have an excuse to look into this crap. But even last September, when I first started digging into this, all like the movies that are going to be players, I felt like I was behind. Like in the middle of the fall festivals when all the movies were playing, I still felt like I was doing my homework the morning that the teacher was going to right before as the teacher was going around collecting it. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out. But now I'm on this thing 365 days early. Hopefully not 365 days. Hopefully like 300. We could easily move the Oscars back 2 months. January 30th, the last Sunday of September. Or no, that douchebag Sean Fennessy had a good idea. The Sunday between the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl is perfect. Just got a comment on the Peaky Blinders review. Finally, an honest review. The last honest man in Eddington is what some are saying about me. Best Picture. No better way to start. I mean, come on, let's just get right to it. If you're going at anything else, you're a moron. Safe bets, contenders, players, and movies that just have a slight chance, and also are my favorite, the wild cards, because those movies are crazy. First one, The Odyssey. Everybody knows The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan. You got Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya. I mean, he's the reigning defending world heavyweight champion coming into this thing, Christopher Nolan, coming off of the Oppenheimer sweep. And this movie is like not so much more Oscar baity because Oppenheimer is like Oscar City. But and I mean Oscar bait is kind of a lame can be kind of a lame sentiment anyway, but a lot of movies are. But this movie is just much like larger and more epic, and it feels like he can just really like Christopher Nolan can just kind of go off with this one. That sounds lame, like, dude, go off. But yeah, he can go crazy, and everyone that's seen the prologue seems to say that it's just absolutely insane. Um, I haven't had the privilege of seeing it. My local IMAX closed. How much does that suck? The IMAX theater, the Randolph one, terrible. So I don't know what the closest one to me is. Is it? I actually have no idea. Dedham doesn't have one. Is it North Attleboro? Jesus Christ. That's disgusting. Anyway, that's disappointing. I'm not like an IMAX nut, but I want to see the prologue, so I'd have to go to Project Hail Mary in IMAX. Jesus. Can I not find that on YouTube? Anyway, this movie, I don't know how much more I have to say about it. It's like we all know it's going to be a huge player. We're going to talk about it at nauseum throughout the next 12 months. So let's just cut it right now for tonight. Wild Horse 9, directed by Martin McDonagh. John Malkovich, Sam Rockwell, Parker Posey, Steve Buscemi. This is a long log line. CIA officers Chris and Lee are dispatched from Santiago to Easter Island by their bureau chief MJ, amongst the island's iconic statues, and as the lifetime partners wrestle with their dark past and present conspiracies, Chris's newfound bond with a pair of rebellious students threatens to send everyone's trip to this remote island upside down. Um, his last two movies, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, New Jersey, I almost said that would have been a better movie, and Banshees of Inisherin have been major Oscar players. I think McDormand won Best Actress, but Rockwell won Best Supporting for Three Billboards, nominated for Best Picture, and then same for Banshees, nominated for Best Picture. Had I think four acting nominations and a one for screenplay, and so it was like the number three contender that year. It felt like Farrell could have won, Gleason could have won, and then his movie before that, Seven Psychopaths, was a Spirit and Saturn Awards, like a smaller award winner. And in Bruges, pronunciation's right off the bat not going to be great. I'm never confident. He got a screenplay nomination for that one. So all of his movies, at least especially the last two, they're Oscar buzz as it gets. And this one looks no different, especially with John Malkovich in the lead. I think, as we'll get into later, the Academy loves old guys, and this is like a great old guy, late career Oscar. He's like a eccentric old guy who's wacky. Uh, it's gonna be great. I think this movie's gonna be really good. And it looks super appealing. Like it looks more fun than his last two movies. Like it looks. I haven't seen the two before that, but it looks like a blast. Next up, Digger. I hardly know her. You get it, folks? Come on. This is interesting because we're using three devices, which has never been done, I don't think, before on a YouTube broadcast. We have my trusty laptop that you're watching the broadcast on. You're watching this lovely slideshow I put together. And then for notes purposes, I don't have all this stuff memorized, guys. This iPad that I just got today. Oh, um, with my notes. I got this at the Apple Store today in the Celsior Plaza. Super easy to set up. Shout out to Jay at the Apple Store for hooking it up. I need a case for it though. I just don't have a case. Um, Digger, Alejandro Gonzalez. I don't know why I guessed. Inarritu. Alejandro G Inarritu. Tom Cruise, Sandra Hüller. I never know if I'm pronouncing that right. I might pronounce that four different times tonight because she has four movies coming out. With all due respect, because I'm sorry. John Goodman, Jesse Plemons, Riz Ahmed, the most powerful man in the world, races to prove he's humanity's savior before the disaster he's unleashed destroys everything. And it's just like a meaty role for Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. I don't know why I said it like that. The teaser they put out, like the 40 seconds, he's just hitting little moves. He's already acting like a maniac. And Sandra Hüller said that it's like unlike anything she's made before. Um, she says it's like I think she's already hyped, but she's already saying it's nuts. It looks incredible. The poster is awesome. His last going back all of his movies. I mean, Bardo, The Revenant, Birdman, Biddeful, Babel, 21 Grams, Amore, Perro. Bardo did not get any Oscar buzz. Birdman won Best Picture. The Revenant won Best Actor. It was a huge Oscar winner. Like it won a couple others. I don't have that written down. Babel was a big Oscar player. Biddeful got a lead actor in foreign language feature nomination. Actress and supporting actor nominations for 21 Grams. So all of his movies except for Bardo, which might have had a couple nominations. I just said this had Oscar buzz in the notes. All of his movies are huge players, and this one feels like no different. This one even feels like it has like the Oscar element with like an incredible director. Like it's not like the Oscars only go for like Beatty movies. I mean, look at the movie that won this year. But like a great director with a cool original idea and just an incredible actor. Like a lot of overdue actors here. This feels like prime Oscar material, not Oscar bait, Oscar material. It's right up the Academy's alley, I think, and I think for good reason. Jack of Spades, directed by Joel Cohen, the better half, I would say, of the Coen brothers, and I would say the lesser half of his marriage with Frances McDormand, who's the star of this movie with Josh O'Connor. He's the only movie he's made on his own was The Tragedy of Macbeth, which is a huge awards player. It was never like going to win Best Picture, but Denzel was nominated. McDormand, I think people are always afraid she could sneak in. She's almost like the edge of the Oscars, where like she's always got the money in the bank. She could always cash in and win. at any point without campaigning, without like doing any of the dirty work. Again, he's half of the Coen brothers, so like Fargo, Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, True Grit, to name a few. And then he had like those got 4 wins and 12 nominations. Again, I'm reading that off notes. I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to. I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to make it sound like I know all this off the top of my head. Um, there's no word on what this movie's about. I would expect it to premiere at Cannes, but it feels no. There's an April 9th announcement for the lineup, so that's when like a teaser could come out and like the synopsis at least. But there's no word for what this movie's about. Josh O'Connor and McDormand, two incredible actors. O'Connor, I love, and McDormand, I mean, yeah. Joel Cohen, I mean, he's one for one. I expect this to be no different. It's a great name too, Jack of Spades. It's a cool name for a movie. What about Zack of Spades? I think that'd be interesting if it was Zack of Spades. Fjord, directed by Christian Mungiu. I'm a bad guy for not knowing how to pronounce that. Sebastian Stan and Renata Reinsve. A family moves to their mother's birthplace, a Norwegian village, and befriends their neighbors. When they, oh god, it's like a size 9 font. When they are suspected of disturbing behavior regarding their children, their lives are thrown into chaos as they've, God, it's late, as they're thrown into the center of scrutiny. I've never heard of any of his movies. RMN, he was nominated for the Palme d'Or. Got great reviews. I don't know if it's Palme d'Or or Palme d'Or. Graduation in 2016, he won Best Director at Cannes. Beyond the Hills at Cannes, he won Best Screenplay. 4 weeks, 3 months, and 2 days at Cannes, he won the Palme. And Occidental, I don't have any notes for what he won. This movie, he's never had any really big Oscar love, but Sebastian Stan and Renata Reinsve, is any of this movie in English? Let me figure that out. I hate iPads. I really do. They're super annoying. What am I? A Fjord movie. It's gonna have some English, which just makes it more. The Academy's stupid. As a layer, they appeal more to movies. I mean, sentimental value had some English, but this movie I expect to be a big awards player. I expect Renata Reinsve to get Oscar love, and I expect Sebastian Stan to as well. I don't know if I have him in the. Now that I'm thinking about it, do I have him in the notes in this actor page? Anyway, we gotta move on. Um, Contenders, Cry to Heaven, directed by Tom Ford, who made A Single Man, which was an Oscar player, and Nocturnal Animals, which was other awards players, not so much for the Academy. Um, his first movie in 10 years. This movie is on its Wikipedia, which is our primary news source, as you could probably expect by the quality that I put out. It says this movie's 2027 release, but it's supposed to finish filming in mid-March. And I say, why not? It's not like it's a big CGI fest. It follows the story of two men castrated to perfect their perfect soprano voices. So I don't know if they do like impressions of like Tony and Polly. I don't know why you'd have to get castrated. Like, hey, Tom. Like, I guess he gets kind of high, but like Christopher's low and Tony's definitely low. If you're doing an actual impression of a soprano, anyway, if you're doing a soprano voice, this stars Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Adele in her film debut, her acting debut. And this is the kind of thing where if Adele's good, it'll be overblown and it'll be like, oh my god, she can do everything. She's so talented, and that'll only elevate the movie's like Oscar chances. Nicholas Hoult, I think, is a really great actor, and Aaron Taylor Johnson's cool too. I think this movie has a good chance at being a major Oscar player if it comes out this year. I think the reason I don't have it in safe bets because he's never had a huge Oscar player, but if this movie comes out, I think it's going to get nominated. All of a sudden, directed by Ryosuke Hamaguchi, I hope, starring Virginia Afra, Afira. Uh, I'm sorry, Tao Okamoto and Kyozo Nagatsuka. The director of a nursing home in the Persian suburbs attempts to introduce a humane care technique known as humanitude in spite of resistance. Her life is changed when she meets a terminally ill Japanese playwright named Mari Morisaki. This guy directed Drive My Car, which was an Oscar contender. Evil Does Not Exist was not so much a contender. It was a minor awards player. Asako 1 and 2, which is one movie, was acclaimed, and Happy Hour 2015 had even better reviews. It was critically acclaimed. I don't know why I have that separated. One's critically, one's not. Must have been better reviews. Um, I don't know. Feels more Oscar. He feels like he could be an acting player before. Afira and Okamoto. Whoever plays the old man, I think that's Okamoto. I don't have notes on the actors. I don't have off the top of my head. I think Afira has been like an awards contender for like a lot of the smaller stuff, not the smaller stuff like foreign not movies and the foreign award shows as well. I don't know. I just have a good feeling about this one. Dune Messiah. We all know Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve, Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Jason Momoa, Robert Pattinson. It's Dune 3, but Dune 1 had a lot of Oscar love as far as especially the nominations go and the technicals. Dune 2 just got a little bit less love. And this is not that this movie's going to blow like Wicked 2 did, but the comparison I'm making is the Dune dorks, the Mahdi maniacs, the Arrakis assholes. I don't know. The Dune dorks say that this movie is going to be much less of like appealing or commercially appealing, especially to the Academy. But I don't know. That first trailer, like Chalamet could definitely get the acting nomination. I feel like with like like the makeup and prosthetics and the bald, and the score is going to get nominated like the last one didn't, and they might correct their mistake with not nominating Villeneuve ever. It's like two different sides of the coin. Like it's the dorks say that this movie is not as appealing, but there's also like I feel like the people who haven't read the book are the ones saying this, but there's a chance that it like kind of return to the Kings. Not saying it's going to win 70 Oscars and be kind of boring, um, but I think it could win a lot of the visual stuff, and it could actually get some acting awards or nominations. Not awards, not wins, but it could get the nominations like the Lord of the Rings couldn't. Not that's a shot with all due respect. Project Hail Mary, uh, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, starring Ryan Gosling and Sandra Huller. Interstellar for Dummies is what I wrote here, but it's still great, and that's not a knock because this movie I did the whole review on it. I didn't love the first hour; it's a little too wacky, but once it starts taking itself seriously, it really is just it's incredible blockbuster filmmaking. It's beautiful. Ryan Gosling gives a great performance, and I say like after Sinners won, not that Sinners is a bad movie. Sinners was my eighth favorite movie last year. I had it at number eight all year. But if a movie that came out in March with a good, not great leading man performance, and that is relies entirely on its visuals, with a well liked star as well. If that movie can win Best Actor and be a major Oscar player, why can't this one? Like if Sinners last year, like why can't it do the Sinners path, where every movie that comes out, it's almost like the measuring stick, you know? Like not saying that it's gonna win like and sweep, but like or like be a huge even player like Sinners, but I think the fact that it's going to stick around enough to be at like the bottom of the 10 at least is pretty safe to say. And Gosling for Best Actor, we'll get to that later. It wouldn't be deserved, but I mean, I could kind of see it. I kind of could. Um, Next up, Jesse Eisenberg's musical. It is about a shy woman is unexpectedly cast in a local production of an original musical under the spell of the strong-willed and enigmatic director. She loses herself in the role in the high stakes world of this community theater production, starring Julianne Moore and Paul Giamatti. Uh, Jesse Eisenberg's only ever made A Real Pain, which won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Kieran Culkin. I think this movie is going to be a pretty big player. I don't know how musically it's going to be. I think there's going to be like a good amount of. It's not going to be like a West Side Story in the Heights, like Lin-Manuel Miranda, guy who only knows Lin-Manuel Miranda musicals. But it's not gonna be like that kind of musical movie where like they're constantly singing around. I don't think that would be awesome. But with Julianne Moore and Paul Giamatti, I think this is just gonna be songs, and I think it's gonna be a major Oscar player. I do. I'm just waiting for more information. I'm dying for more info about this movie. Giamatti is the man. I think him for supporting actor is, especially if he's doing some singing and dancing, that would be incredible. And then Julianne Moore is like the Demi Moore route where it's like we love her, you know? And she's still like a girl boss queen, yes, that kind of thing. Next up, Danny Boyle's Inc. Oh, none of you guys saw that. This movie is starring Guy Pearce, Jack O'Connell, and Claire Foy. It's about Robert Murdoch, played by Guy Pearce, so like his rise to fame. And Danny Boyle, I mean, 28 years later, Yesterday, T2, Trainspotting, his last three movies. But then if you go back 11 years, Steve Jobs, and then and then 127 Hours, Slumdog Millionaire, like that 7 year run, he was pumping out Oscar material. And this one is more Oscar-y, and Guy Pearce is incredible, and Jack O'Connell is great, and Claire Foy. I almost called it Claire O'Foy, and Claire Foy is great. This is like easily, it's an Oscar-y movie. It's an act like playing people we know playing bad people. Um, could very like I could I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get three acting nominations, but if I had to pick a movie to get three acting nominations at this point, I would probably pick this one. I would just because I mean those Guy Pearce, Jack O'Connell, Claire Foy, I think is a great three-headed monster. Just if Danny Boyd can drive it home. Saturn Return, directed by Greg Quidier and Quidar, and Rachel, starring Rachel Brosnahan, Charles Melton, and Will Poulter, a timeless Chicago set romance exploring the themes of love, loss, and life's complicated turns in this 10 years between the aspirational young love of college and oh my god, and the complicated realities of adulthood. It's late. Um, he co-wrote Train Dreams, or he co-wrote Train Dreams, and he directed Sing Sing and his two movies before, or he wrote Jockey and he directed Trans Pesos, which got good reviews. But Sing Sing was a huge Oscar player. Train Dreams got the Best Picture nomination. I think he even got adapted screenplay for him. So this movie feels less Oscar-y. It feels more Netflixy, unfortunately. His last two movies were streamos, but they didn't feel like it. They were made beforehand. But this one just feels more streamy. I don't have the highest hopes. I don't know why it's in players. Maybe just because his last two movies, Sing Sing and Train Dreams, you kind of gotta. It's under. It's an ooh. I didn't move up the Social Reckoning page. The Social Reckoning. There's a reason that that Saturn Returns is in players. I'll say. Social Reckoning, directed by Aaron Sorkin, starring Mikey Madison, Jeremy Allen White, and Jeremy Strong. I mean, Facebook 2. Do we need this movie? He's directed Being the Ricardos, Trial of Chicago 7, and Molly's Game. He was nominated for the screenplay for Molly's Game, Best Picture nominations for the other two, and acting nominations all over the board. But none of those movies, I've never seen Molly's Game, neither of those movies are really any good. I mean, I liked Chicago 7 when it came out, I think because I loved Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I was like early pandemic, and it was like early pandemic Oscars, and it was like, kind of need this movie to be good, so I have something to do tonight, something to watch. Um, but this movie feels like slop. It really does. This movie feels very like Paramount Plusy. Mikey Madison's supposed to have a meaty role. She's coming off the Best Actress win. I just don't see it. I just don't see. I think this movie's going to be stinky. I really do. And then Jeremy Allen White and Jeremy Strong. I think they're going to rekindle that match that they got off Springsteen of just pure stink. Um, I'm going to take a break really quickly, and we'll be right back. If I can figure out how to pause this. All right, folks. It's crazy. The technology nowadays. I mean, you spend all day trying to figure this stuff out. How do I pause this? Aha. Can I not pause it? I can pause it. All right, I'll be right back. Back. Can you believe it, folks? We've hardly scratched the surface. Isn't that incredible? We have so many more movies to look forward to. We've been going too long. I'm going to try to fly through the rest of these. At least the best picture. Um, Prima Facie. That's much later. And I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Do you think I'm saying that right? No, neither do I. Behemoth, directed by Tony Gilroy, starring Pedro Pascal, Will Arnett, Ava Victor, and Olivia Wilde. This guy made Michael Clayton, folks. And that was back when they only had five nominations for Best Picture, and it was probably the third movie. At least it feels like the third movie from that 2007 No Country for Old Men, No There Will Be Blood. Then he made Duplicity and The Bourne Legacy and Andor, which got critical acclaim as a TV show. The two movies in between there, not so much. There's no word on what this movie's about, but I feel like it could be a big player. Trying to see if I even thought, all right, I'm not muted, thank God. I feel like this could be a big player. It's low, it's only in the players, but I have some stock on Behemoth Island. But I also think it could easily be a stinker. Thus, the beauty of early Oscar season, folks. A movie that people have seen, Queen at Sea, directed by Lance Hammer, starring Juliette Binoche, Tom Courtenay, that's how it's spelled, Courtenay, and Anna Calder Marshall. Follows a woman who's concerned for her aging mother, so she moves back to London with her teenage daughter. I feel like that's not right. No, it is. I'm confusing it with a different movie. Um, and it premiered at the Berlin Film Festival, where it won the Silver Bear, the second prize. It has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. This guy's only other movie, The Ballast, um, that won a lot of indie awards. And not that the Berlin Film Festival is this big indicator. In fact, it is not at all. I don't think anyone who's ever won the Silver Bear and then gone on to get Oscar buzz. But the fact of the matter is this: it's a movie people have seen. It's a movie that people love so far. Juliette Binoche, I believe, has won an Oscar. If I have that right, I believe she has two nominations that she won. I don't know if I'm mixing her up with someone else. There's a lot of these actors in these movies that I don't really know. They're kind of starting to run together, but the fact that they're even running together means that I'm starting to kind of know them. I think she might have been in Scent of a Woman. I looked that up though. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. No, there should be a. How do you get Siri going? I hate iPads. There's no way to get Siri. That's super annoying. Sorry for this unplanned interruption, folks, but I'm trying to see if I have the right woman that was in Scent of a Woman. Not Scent of a Woman. The English Patient. How did I mix those movies up? Yep, The English Patient. I wonder if that movie's even good. I only ever listened to Elaine. Kind of all I need. But Sack Lunch actually looks all right. Moving on. Next up, we have 1949, directed by Powell Pawlikowski. Probably pronouncing that right. Starring Hans Zischler and Sandra Hüller. Sandra Hüller, again, this is her third one, and we've gone, what, 20 movies in? 15 movies in. I think she's going to be a big contender for supporting actress for this one. In the midst of the Cold War, exiled German novelist Thomas Mann embarks on a road trip from Frankfurt, West Germany, to Weimar, East Germany, with his daughter Erica. Hans Zischler is 89 years old. He's been in a lot of movies. Again, yeah, I have it right. He's been in a ton of stuff. I hope I have this right. I should search it to be sure. It's super annoying. iPads are not a perfect product at all. Not that they have to be, but I mean, sue me for asking for quality. Jesus Christ. Hans Zischler. Yeah, this guy's been in a ton of movies, none too known, none too well known. He is not like I would know any of his movies because, like, I think he's German. Yeah, he's German. He was in a lot of Wim Wenders' early movies. What it said is on Wikipedia. But I think like old man role like that, and opposite an actress like that, I think that could easily be a path, especially for her. Hasn't premiered anywhere, but best director nomination for his last movie, Cold War. Ida, his movie before that had like a lot of those middle small awards, like the festivals and the critics groups. The Woman in the Fifth, he made in 2011, got mixed reviews. My Summer of Love got a lot of small awards, and The Last Resort got a little less small awards, 2002. So this guy makes movies that people like. The Academy has started to come around on him, at least in his last movie, with a director nomination. This time he has an actress that the Academy nominated 3 years ago, and an actress that is going to be on their mind a lot this year. So it spells out Oscar buzz. This is a movie that I'm almost planting the flag. I bought a lot of stock on 1949 Island. Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg. Need I say more? Um, the Fablemans and West Side Story, huge Oscar players. At least like they were that third, fourth, fifth contender. It felt like, and it won Best Actress for Ariana DeBose, and it could have won best supporting actress for Ariana DeBose, and it could have won it again for The Fablemans with Michelle Williams, but they didn't campaign her there. Hold a lot of drama. Also could have won for Paul Dano. It got those he his movies get nominations still, especially even for acting. This movie feels less Oscar-y. It's a aliens are a freaking real movie, which is awesome. I think it's much more exciting than him making like I love the Fablemans and West Side Story, but I and I think a lot of most other people are more excited for this than any of his other ones or any of those other two. Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Coleman Domingo, good cast. I just don't think it's going to be a big awards player, but it's Spielberg, and I love the guy, so I have him in players. I have a little higher. Maybe probably should be, but why should I bet against him? Huh? No, no, tell me. You got nothing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Paper Tiger, directed by James Gray, who made Armageddon Time, Ad Astra, Lost City of Z, The Immigrant, Two Lovers, The Yards, and We. Oh God, gross. And We Own the Night. Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Miles Teller. Two brothers peruse the American dream, but get entangled in a dangerous Russian mafia scheme that terrorizes their family. Testing their bond as betrayal becomes possible. Um, a lot of his movies have been those smaller awards contenders and could have been Oscar players. They were like the lower tier, second tier awards, and yeah, I feel like they just missed the cut. This one could be. The actors are more commercial. He had Brad Pitt for Ad Astra. Last time he had Anne Hathaway and Jeremy Strong. I mean, this trio, the Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Miles Teller, could see the Academy going for this. Could see this being a 71 or 62% Rotten Tomatoes, $3.3 million opening weekend, or $2.2 million opening weekend kind of thing. And then nobody, and it's like, hey, remember Paper Tiger? And my brother's like, no, stop texting me. I'm at work. I feel like my phone's falling backwards. Hey. Next up, Cliff Booth. Is that all I have written down there? The Adventures of Cliff Booth. Directed by David Fincher, starring Brad Pitt, Elizabeth Debicki, and Scott Kahn, who I have written down there for some reason. I mean, it's the Cliff Booth movie. His last movie, The Killer, it got nominated for Best Visual Effects and maybe a couple other things. Mank, Best Picture nomination. Gone Girl, did it get the Best Picture nomination? I don't have that written down. I have nothing written down for it. I might have gotten the Best Actress nomination even. Anyway, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Oscar nominated. Social Network, Benjamin Button. Best Picture nominations: Fight Club 7, The Game, Panic Room, Zodiac. I mean, he's made classics. Not great the last few movies. He made a lot of Netflix garbage. This expected to be Netflix garbage. If you asked me the day before, going into the Super Bowl, before the trailer came out, I would have said, yeah, obviously it's going to be pretty crummy. But the trailer convinced me. It looks like it's going to be high octane. It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool, crafty, interesting, exciting. It felt like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood watching the trailer. Like it made you remember, like, oh yeah, Fincher can direct the hell out of a movie. His last two movies were just boring ideas. Like Mank is about a guy in bed writing a movie. Not interesting at all. And then The Killer is about a guy, the most boring assassin in the world. This is about Cliff Booth, the coolest guy in the world. Um, and it doesn't look like Netflix garbage. This guy makes movies that don't look like Netflix garbage, even though they're Netflix productions, which is why he's one of the best directors. You still got to give him his due. You can't rule him out. I don't know how big of a player this will be. It's a sequel, which I feel like it's like how often do the Oscars go for just part two, and that's like there's no other movies in a series. Like there were nominations for Two Towers, maybe Rocky 2, um, Wakanda Forever, maybe Empire. I'm trying to think of what else. Aliens. Like a lot. I'm sure there's been plenty of second movies in a franchise that got nominated, but how many like sequels and that's it? Like I don't know how often that ever actually happens, but and it just doesn't feel as Oscar-y. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like a very Oscar material. Um, I hope this one's good enough. If it's good enough, I think it will be a player. I think that's just a test. This is one of those movies where if it's great, if it's just undeniable, it will be a player. And Brad Pitt if a nomination's the win for him in this role. I don't think he'll win two Oscars for playing Cliff Booth. That would be pretty incredible. He'd have to do something pretty unbelievable. And I think Matt Damon, Cruz, Stan, everyone else would have to really fall on their face in this category for him to win too. But I think it could be a player everyone else everywhere else, and even he could get the nomination. I'm excited for this movie. Being Human. This is Sean Heder. I think it's Sean. Um, Follow up to Coda, which won Best Picture, and you've probably been watching every night since it came out because it's the most rewatchable Best Picture and the most talked about Best Picture since its win of the last century, I would say, even maybe since the awards started. Starring Ruth Madley, Mark Ruffalo, and Dylan O'Brien. I love those two supporting actors. I've never heard of Ruth Madley. I think she's won some smaller awards, but I mean, those two sidekicks are great. The supporting cast is great. Um, I don't know if it'll be as schleppy as Coda. I hope it isn't. Being Human is a very schleppy name. I don't have a synopsis written down for it, but I mean, her last movie won Best Picture. This is her second movie. I think you kind of got to assume that it's got a chance. Yeah, I think you got to assume it's got a chance. Period. I'm not going to that. No comma. Period. Josephine, directed by Beth De Arajo, starring Gemma Chan, Mason Reeves, Channing Tatum, and Philip Ettinger. Is Mason Reeves the kid? Shit. Mason Reeves is a very unappealing, a very scary looking guy. I don't want to show him, but yeah, Mason Reeves is how old is she? 8 years old. This movie is about an 8-year-old girl, played by her, obviously, who witnesses a brutal assault in Golden Gate Park. She begins to experience fear and paranoia following the events. This premiered at Sundance, where it won. It won the Grand Jury Award and the Audience Award, the top two prizes. Her last movie, Soft and Quiet, is acclaimed. Berlin Film Festival premiered at a competition. This movie's at 95% on Rotten Tomatoes with 86 reviews. I don't have the Metacritics, but Sundance. This is my first time, like I said, I don't know if I've said that yet, but this is my first time really following the Oscars all year long, going into it from the start. And I feel like it's a rite of passage for the first year anyone does that to fall into the trap of the Sundance movie, the big Sundance winner being a big Oscar player. But this movie, I mean, it feels like it could be something. It feels like it could get some Oscar buzz. Channing Tatum and supporting actor, even like Mason Reeves, if they can bump her down. I've seen predictions with her in the lead nomination, but that feels crazy. For an 8-year old to get nominated for Best Lead Actress. But if you can category fraud, if she's in the lead down to supporting, then she could even like. Then that gives her a good chance of getting the nom. I was gonna say she could even win, but okay, if a nomination's the win, if you're 8 years freaking old. The only problem is this movie was acquired by like Zach Popcorn Productions, like literally a lesser studio than that. Like it was literally McDonald's corporate, like McDonald's movies. Narnia, directed by Greta Gerwig, starring Emma Mackey, Carey Mulligan, David McKenna, and Daniel Craig. Narnia and the Magician's Nephew, I think it's actually called. She made Lady Bird, she made Little Women, she made Barbie, Best Picture nom, Best Picture nom, Best Picture nom. But this is Narnia, this is Netflix garbage, and I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. There's going to be no Saoirse Ronan here to save you. There's no Brad Pitt, or Saoirse Ronan's not walking through that door. Timothy Chalamet's not walking through that door. Ryan Gosling is not walking through that door. Margot Robbie is not walking through that door. Um, Laurie Metcalf is not walking through that door. Lucas Hedges is not walking through that door. Florence Pugh is not walking through that door. I mean, go down the line. Is Emma Watson walking through that door? She's not. Is Chris Cooper? No. Meryl Streep is not either. Um, Neither is Tracy Letts. This movie is Fantasyland stupidity, I think, and I'm hoping she can get the hell out of there as fast as possible and get her ass back to Sacramento and make movies about people being sad. Because I want Greta Gerwig just making original. Little Women's not original, Barbie's not original, but I want her just making real movies, not Narnia. If she makes, they're planning us on being a 7 movie franchise. If she makes 3 Narnia movies, I don't. That would just really piss me off. Her, Saoirse Ronan, and Timothy Chalamet should be like Apex Mountain right now. Who would have guessed that when Little Women came out that was actually their Apex Mountain? Was that their Apex Mountain? Do they have another peak in them? I like to think so. I like to think so. That's all I'll say. My tone, I think, should give you my real answer. Yellow Letters, directed by Ilker Katak, starring Ozgu Namal and Tansu Beiser. The pronunciations are incredible. This guy made The Teacher's Lounge, which I think was awesome. It got nominated for Best International Feature. The marriage of an artist couple begins to unravel after a state arbitration at their play's premiere. This was at the Berlin Film Festival where it won the Golden Lion. Again, I don't know how much connection there is between the two, but at the bigger festival of the two that has happened thus far, of the three, if you want to include South by Southwest in there, which would be the third of the three. I don't know why I had to throw that shot into that, but it's won the top award. So if you're technically going off of power rankings, from what we've seen, you can maybe go Project Hail Mary 1, Yellow Letters 2, as far as players go, because, I mean, it won. It won the award. I don't know what else there's six. I know nothing else about the movie. Death of a Salesman is supposedly coming out this year, starring Chinoye Chukwe. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She directed Till, which got a lot of the smaller nominations, a lot of smaller awards nominations, and Clemency got small awards as well. Jeffrey Wright, Octavia Spencer, and Corey Hawkins in the movie. Three really good actors. If the movie's great, it's going to be because of great performances from the actors. They're going to have great material to work with this movie. Um, Danielle Deadweiler almost got in for Till. This movie is a lot more Oscar material. And those actors, I think, have a better chance of getting in. And they just like going in. Not that it's like a knock on. I Swear, directed by Kirk Jones, starring Robert Aramayo, Maxine Peake, Shirley Henderson. This guy's made Walking Ned, Nanny McPhee, Everybody's Fine, What to Expect When You're Expecting, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. And then he made this one, which won, where this is the story of a British man struggling with Tourette's and also racism, his own racism. This won Best Actor and Best Casting at the BAFTAs and has 9 nominations. You might be thinking, hold on, Zach Popcorn. This movie was nominated at the BAFTAs. That can't be a contender at the Oscars next year. And I would say you're right most of the time. But this movie came out in England in the window for the 2025 BAFTAs. This movie's releasing in America in April, thus making it a 2026 Oscars contender. So, great question. Glad you're paying attention, but no. You might have heard he won Best Actor at the BAFTAs. That was kind of a big deal when it happened because that was all anyone could talk about from that award show, his touching speech. He beat Chalamet. He beat Michael B. Jordan. It is a British slop, you might be able to say. I haven't seen it, but it's British crap. So it's right up their alley. They love to give it to the Brits. Wumi Masako won. She's British. Jesse Buckley's Irish. I don't know who won supporting. Sean Penn. I don't think he's British. But they like to give the awards to their own. So I don't know if you can really count that BAFTA, but like I said, if you're ranking the contenders in Best Actor, he has won the top prize. Even going into the awards next year, you can probably still bring this up. If he wins any of those other ones, I think that could maybe tell. No, it couldn't. It's something, though. It's something to keep an eye on. That's why it's in the middle of players. These aren't ranked, by the way. Artificial, directed by Luca Guadagnino, Andrew Garfield, Monica Barbaro, and Yura Borisov star. The satirical story of Sam Altman. I always want to call him Sam Bankman. Is it anti-Semitic to think that a Jewish man's name is Bankman? No, because there's probably some Jew who's named Bankman, right? Sam Altman's firing and rehiring at OpenAI. His last movie after The Hunt was piss. Queer was acclaimed, almost got the nomination for Daniel Craig. Challengers was acclaimed, should have got a lot of nominations. Bones and All got great reviews. Suspiria got smaller awards. Call Me by Your Name got the Best Picture nom, A Bigger Splash, and I Am Love. His earlier movies got much more love, especially from the awards bodies. This movie feels more Oscar baity. Like After the Hunt did as well. Even Queer kind of did. I don't know. I believe in that trio more. If you're looking back, like last year was Garfield, Roberts, Ayo Barry. There's really no weak link. I like their chances a little more here. I love Garfield. Um, Moving on. Out of This World, directed by Albert Serra, starring Riley Keough and F. Murray Abraham. An American delegation travels to. Is it American delegate? I would copy and paste the Wikipedia. An American delegation travels to Russia in the midst of the Ukrainian war to try to find a solution. um, to an economic dispute linked to sanctions. This guy made Afternoon of Solitude, Pacification, Liberté, The Death of Louis XVI, and The Story of My Life. Has won a lot of smaller awards. Every single one of them never had Oscar love. Um, I don't know. It's worth throwing in there because I mean, eventually, I feel like those guys break out, and you got to kind of toss it in there just so you kind of say, "Hey, I didn't tell you so, but I had a inkling." Wow, I don't have riders in here. The rider. We'll get to that when we get to that. Andrew Hayes, A Long Winter, starring Fred Hetchinger, Kit Connor, and DeFaro Munatai. All of Us Strangers had Oscar nominations. Lean on Pete had smaller awards. 45 Years had a lot of smaller awards in The Weekend. It's actually just Weekend. It's good reviews. I love Fred Hetchinger. There's no word on what this movie's about. Supposedly it's going to premiere Cannes. But like I said, his last movie was like a second tier Oscar player last year. So why can't he just graduate? He doesn't have Andrew Scott and Paul Mescal. But is Fred Hetchinger better than both? That's my favorite game show you should say. Let's find out. Possible Love, directed by Lee Chang Dong. He directed Burning, Poetry, Secret Sunshine, Oasis, and Peppermint Candy. A lot of the smaller awards all around for this for these movies. I have no cast or what the movie's about, so there's a reason he's in the players and not a chance. Maybe he should be at a chance. Bitter Christmas, directed by Pedro Almodovar. I feel like this movie should be in contenders because this guy's made Parallel Mothers, Pain and Glory, Julieta, and I'm So Excited, as well as probably 20 other things. And The Room Next Door 2 years ago. Two Oscar players in there, Pain and Glory and Parallel Mothers. Penelope Cruz almost won Best Actress, and then he got two acting nominations for Pain and Glory. I didn't have any word on what this movie's about. I don't know anything about those actors off the top of my head, but judging off his track record, I think we have a pretty good chance. And I think maybe Players is a good spot for him. The Riders is directed by Edward Berger. It's not about Brad. It's not about a motorcycle movie, but it stars Brad Pitt and like he's taking care of like his land or something when his wife leaves or something. I don't know. It sounds like more Oscar-y. And Edward Berger's last three movies, two of them were up there as far as Oscar contenders went. Um, We Are All Strangers, directed by Anthony Chen, starring Yeo Yan Yan and Ko Jia Ler. It had a Golden Bear nomination in Berlin. A lot of nominations for the Breaking Ice at the smaller awards. Um, Drift, Wet Season, Ilo Ilo, smaller awards, good reviews across the table. Gold. I don't have much word on it, but it's in a chance and not players because I mean the Golden Bear nomination you got to include it. Not a bird in the hand, but it's like a bird's quarter of a bird in the hand, being worth two in the bush. Like it's done something. I Love Boosters premiered at South by Southwest, which is like whatever, sure. Not no shot in the movie, but like getting great reviews there. Like, yeah, I'm sure. A group of shoplift, like it's people just hype up the movies there. A group of shoplifters take aim at a cutthroat fashion maven. Imagine if it was actual Maven from wrestling. This guy made Bruce Riley made Sorry to Bother You 11 years ago. This one feels I don't know. Some people I think are just feeling trendy. The fact that it came out is getting great reviews as it came out. Like from like I don't know what I was trying to say there. I talked myself into a corner there. It's late. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep firing through whatever the hell I was saying. Um, yeah, this movie does. People are putting it in because it's getting the good reviews. It's people. I feel like people are trying to like. It's the early hot take right now. It's South by Southwest. South by Southwest is never really an Oscar indicator, but I'm here using Golden Bear for potential predictions. But nobody knows anything right now about these movies. Nobody knows what's going to win. The Entertainment System is Down, directed by Ruben Ostlund, starring Keanu Reeves, Kirsten Dunst, and Daniel Bruhl. The passengers of a lengthy flight contend with their boredom as the plane's entertainment system is down. You know what everybody would do if that happened in real life? They would take out their phone and look at whatever they downloaded. They would not be looking at the plane's TV, or those people would be putting their head back and falling asleep. That's what my dad would do. I don't think there's going to be wacky games or schemes. Triangle of Sadness won best or had a best director nom, and they won the Palm. Lots of nominations for The Square, Grand Jury Prize for The Force Majeure, good reviews for Play 2011, and smaller awards for Involuntary. The actors are more American and more appealing. The premise does not. It feels like it could be boring and stupid and lame. But I love Kirsten Dunst. I think she's gonna carry. Is all I'll say, as the kids say. Next up, The Social Reckoning. I've already done. I'm not a good person. Michael. Where's Michael? I don't have anything about Michael. I'm not a good person. The whole. Oh my God. Yeah, I have nothing about Michael. Directed by somebody starring Jafar Jackson, Coleman Domingo, and Nia Long. I think Coleman Domingo's gonna get the most meaty role. Jafar Jackson is just doing an impression, so if the impression's good enough, he'll probably get nominated, but I think that's garbage. I think this movie's gonna stink. I just had that feeling just off the look. It's not a very hot take. I feel confident calling stinker with this one, as I did with Wicked 2. And any Oscar buzz, I mean, it's April. So any Oscar buzz, I mean, it's not gonna last. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. This was next for me. Oh, Prima Facie, directed by Susanna White, starring Cynthia Erivo. This is based on a one-woman play. Tessa has risen from a working-class background to be a confident, successful defense lawyer. However, her confidence is shaken up one night by the actions of a colleague. Um, Solid reviews, and then she's also directed Nanny McPhee 1. Is that two Nanny McPhee mentions? They're the directors of Nanny McPhee 1 and 2, potentially getting nominated this year. Anyway, it's not important. Actually, not important. That's a Ryan Coogler impression. It's not important. Uh, it's Cynthia Erivo. If she gives a great performance, I mean, it's feels like it'll be entirely on her. So she could easily get the Best Actress nomination if she's good enough. It's like here's the ball 35 times, put up some shots, give us 42 points, or here's the ball 30 times, give us 40 points. Um, Other than that, I don't know how much of a player it's going to be, especially for Best Picture. It's only a Best Picture contender if she's off the chains. Incredible. Sense and Sensibility, directed by Georgia Oakley, starring Daisy Edgar Jones, Esme Creed Miller, and George McKay from 1917. It was a big BAFTA player, Blue Jean. I assume she's British. Her first movie, her first and only movie. This one, I don't know anything about Sense and Sensibility, but Daisy Edgar Jones is like a middling magnet as far as like projects go. Unfortunately, because I think she's talented and has like charisma, and this is her best chance. Like this year, she has two movies that could be players. I don't have the second one written down. I don't think. Interesting. Um, but this one in a leading role is like her number one chance. Moving on. Werewolf, directed by Robert Eggers. All four of his movies: Northman, Lighthouse, Nosferatu, The Witch. Good reviews and no buzz. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, Willem Dafoe. It's 13th century England. A mysterious creature stalks a foggy countryside as local folklore becomes a terrifying reality for the villagers. If it's off the chains incredible, it'll get nominated. It probably won't be off the chains unbelievable all timer, which would get it nominated, but I don't think it'll be a play because none of his movies have been. But you have to include it because maybe, just maybe, they'll wake up soon. Um, Mother Mary, directed by David Lowery, starring Anne Hathaway and Michaela Cole. The film follows a psychosexual affair between pop singer Mary and fashion designer Sam after the former's need for a dress for her new tour draws them back together. This guy made Peter Pan and Wendy, The Green Knight, which I hated the crap out of. The Old Man and the Gun, Golden Globe nomination for Robert Redford. A Ghost Story, which people love, and Pete's Dragon, which who cares what people thought of that movie? I was gonna look it up, but I literally was like, I don't care. Doesn't feel very Oscar-y. It's Anne Hathaway's movie. If she's great, Michaela Cole's even talented from what I've seen. If she's great, much like I just said for Prima Facie, it kind of feels like it like falls on her shoulders to be incredible, which she can be. Her Private Hell, Nicholas Winding Refn is a director. Sophie Thatcher and Charles Melton star. This guy made Drive, which is the only movie that's been good from his that's gotten good reviews. Valhalla Rising actually did before, but his last two movies, No Dice. This movie had their Drive had a little bit of awards buzz, like the smaller stuff. There's no word on what this movie's about. I don't know why it's not. Oh, it is in wild cards. Okay, moving on. What's the uprising? Directed by Paul Greengrass. Oh, Jamie Bell, Andrew Garfield, Thomas and Mackenzie. Interesting. This guy made Captain Phillips, Jason Bourne, 22 July, News of the World, and The Lost Bus. The Lost Bus was a classic. This had Oscar buzz. News of the World might have gotten the Best Picture nom. Captain Phillips definitely did. Andrew Garfield, John Thomas and Mackenzie, two great actors. Paul Greengrass on a slump with his last movie, and this one before that didn't look great. It's worth mentioning. The drama. Oh, we're back up here. Nothing on Pressure. Pressure premiered it was supposed to come out in June, and then they delayed it a long time. So like that movie's a May dump. The drama, directed by Christopher Borgli and Zendaya and Robert Pattinson star before their wedding, a couple shares their darkest secrets, leading to some sort of chaos. I wrote that one myself, no copy and paste. Sick of Myself was acclaimed. Dream Scenario got a few smaller noms. The reviews for this movie are not incredible. Like reading between the lines, it's a lot of like, oh, yep, it's like a ton of blast. It's like, oh yeah, no one's honest anymore. None of these critics out there have any backbone, any spine to say things what they really mean. Um, that's why you come here. That's why you come here. I don't think that movie's going to be a player. I think it could have been if it was good. It's good, but if it was great, I think it could have been a player. The Beloved, directed by Rodrigo Sorigoyen, starring Javier Bardem, Victoria Luengo, and Raul Arevalo. The plot follows the father-daughter relationship. Do I not have Bunker up here? I don't have Bunker up here. Did I not do Bunker? I don't know if I Bunker. Did I do Bunker? No, I didn't. Bunker is it's under Contenders, directed by Florian Zeller, starring Penelope Cruz, Javier Bardem, and I believe Stephen Grant. Their marriage begins to unravel when Javier Bardem, a architect, is hired to design a doomsday like shelter for a crazy man, like a crazy rich guy. Um, the father, incredible. God, I think he got a couple nominations. The son, awful. When are we gonna get the Holy Spirit? Dude, that shit cracks me the fuck up. Um, this movie, two incredible actors. It's like there's three even. I feel like it's gonna be open runs. Everyone's just gonna be getting their shots off, and it's gonna be a major player. I think. Can't believe I forgot it. Possible Love, A Long Winter. Where are these movies? I already talked about them. Tony, directed by Matt Johnson, starring Dominic Sessa, Leo Woodall, Antonio Banderas, and Stavros Halkias. This guy's made The Dirties, which is small, got love. Operation Avalanche, again, small, got smaller awards, love. Blackberry got was like the biggest Canadian movie ever as far as awards go. And Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie could be he also directed, could be an awards player. It's an Anthony Bourdain biopic, and Dominic Sessa in the lead. Again, if he's great, I believe the director's incredible. The director's awesome. This movie's going to look cool. It's going to be original and fresh, I think. Um, and if Sessa's great, heartbeat of the movie, off to the races. Could easily be a big player. I mean, if it's great. Last but certainly not least, I would say, as far as movies with a chance, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, also directed by Matt Johnson. It's incredible. It's the best movie I've seen all year. I saw Project Hail Mary. I don't know what else I'd even put up there. But the way they like it's so incredibly made. Like, the edit it should get an editing nomination. It should get maybe category for out of support, I guess, an acting nomination. It should be get a directing nomination. If you can even throw adapted screenplay. I don't know how much of it was written and how much of it was improv, but whatever the final product was. Production design. Everything. It's so good. It's so well done. It's just such a good, great movie. I think if the Academy gives it a chance, it'll get in. If they give it an inch, it'll take a country mile. Clara and the Sun, Taika Waititi, Jenna Ortega, Amy Adams. Waititi directs. Obviously, he made Jojo Rabbit won Best Adapted Screenplay, but then he made Thor 4 and Mexico Wins. A robot named Clara exists to ease the loneliness of the humans she lives with. Played by Jenna Ortega. Sounds like a disaster. Hot Chan Shake Your Booty. I feel like a pervert saying that out loud. Directed by Jofus Kubota Vladica, starring Rinko Kikuchi and Alberto Guerra. Haru and Luis are passionate competitors in the Tokyo ballroom scene. After tragedy causes Haru to withdraw into isolation, her friends coax her back to the studio where she develops an infatuation with the new instructor. As sparks fly, she must navigate her grief and her newfound desire. I think that this movie has a chance. Um, where is it came out? Is it right? Is that right that it's already came out? It's got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 77 on Metacritic. His last two movies, Dirty Hawk and Catch the Fair One, have smaller love, but Rinko Kikuchi is, I believe, has won a lot of like the overseas awards. Madden, directed by David O. Rapist, I like to call him. Nick Cage, Christian Bale, a movie about John Madden for some reason, and David O. Russell molested his niece. I think we should all remember. Amsterdam and Joy, Accidental Love, American Hustle, Silver Linings Playbook, whatever. This movie looks like ass. I mean, the Academy's over him. Um, I Play Rocky, directed by Peter Farrelly, Anthony Ippolito, Stephen James, Matt Dillon, Anna Sophia Robb. It depicts a tumultuous production of Rocky. This guy made Green Book on his own, and then The Greatest Beer Run Ever, which wasn't bad, and Ricky Snickia, which was pretty good. This is like another Oscar step. He's been training for a while, but it's not even like the kind of thing where he has to train much. I don't know why I was thinking of The Rock playing this. It's really late. Like I was thinking The Smashing Machine. Movies are running together. Rocky. It's 140. Stick with me, folks. We're only going to be here for a little bit longer. Only Living Pickpocket in New York, directed by Noah Sagan, John Turturro, stars with Giancarlo Esposito and Tatiana Maslany by his side, an aging career pickpocket named Harry. I spilled so much. Uh, is forced into the desperate high stakes race against the time through the streets of a city. Premiered at Sundance, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, 24 review, 83 on Metacritic with 10. Great reviews for this guy's last two movies. Um, Could we get like a John Turturro, Giancarlo Esposito, overdue older guys narrative and like incredible movie? It's Sundance, probably not, but it's something that I wanted to mention. Another movie I felt like I just wanted to mention was Everybody Digs Bill Evans, starring Anders Danielson Lee and Bill Pullman, also Laurie Metcalf. A jazz pianist named Bill Evans, and he's a cool guy, and I feel like he's just going to be a cool guy. This guy's made movies that don't have a lot of Wikipedia pages, um, which I mean, the fact that I didn't research a little much, maybe I'm an asshole. But Anders Danielson Lee has been across from Rana Ryan's foot and Joaquin in the two Joaquin Trier movies she's in. If he's great, it's got a chance, right? Right. I call the shots around here. Asghar Farhadi, Parallel Tales, is a movie starring Isabel Huppert, Virginie Efira. You might have remember heard from All of a Sudden. Yes. This guy has made a lot of movies, a lot of highly acclaimed, award-winning movies. He's won Best International Feature twice. He's got nominated for Best Screenplay. He's been nominated for the Palm twice. He's been nominated for the Palm a good amount, actually. This movie, I believe, is going to be a at least international feature, and could be. I mean, it's a dark horse. It's probably the most underseeded one here. Hope. I hope this video ends soon. Na Hong Jin. Um, Hwang Jung Min stars with Michael Fassbender and Taylor Russell in the remote village of Hope Harbor near the heavily fortified, demilitarized zone. Uh, when a tiger is, I don't know why there's a period after that. I copy and paste from Wikipedia. When a tiger is suspected to have appeared and police chief is alerted, it throws the community into chaos. But what begins as a local emergency soon spirals into a deeper, more terrifying mystery, one that forces the town residents to confront the unknown. Small awards all around for this guy's last three movies. He hasn't made a movie in 11, 10 years. Michael Fassbender and Taylor Russell. I mean, it could be a player. I don't think it will be. It's a dark horse, though. I think it's a good dark horse. Is that it? Wow. Here Comes the Flood. Fernando Marai. He made the two popes. which got Oscar buzz. The Constant Gardener 20 years ago also got Oscar buzz. There's two movies in between. Blindness and 360 got pretty shitty reviews. One got the Palm nom. Denzel Washington, Robert Pattinson, and Daisy Edgar Jones. Again, like if she's good in this one, it's a Netflix movie. I don't know how much of a player it's going to be. And Denzel, again, like again, he'd have to be great and really carry the thing. I don't know what kind of like I don't know what their goal is with this movie. A bank guard, a teller, and a master thief get caught in a deadly game of cons and double crosses. It doesn't feel very Oscar-y. I just felt I'm just like dumping out water. I fill it too much, then I just dump it. I dump half of it out, and then I'm like, wow, I'm drinking a lot of water. Nope, you're just dumping it all out all over yourself like an idiot. What Happens at Night is the last movie I will mention in Best Picture because it's filming right now. It's not gonna be ready, right? 6 months from now is the New York Film Festival. One battle after another skipped them. You would think Khan next year is more likely, but I want to include it. If it comes out, it goes to what, number two, three, one? Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Mads Mikkelsen, a married couple travels to a small, snowy European town to adopt a baby. As they struggle to claim their baby, they seem to know even less about themselves than they do about this strange little town. Um, DiCaprio, Lawrence, Scorsese. If it comes out, it's a huge player. Like I just said, I mean, what else is there to say? There's one behind the scenes shot. It just looks incredible. Um, like a video. I'm gonna take a break and then I'll come back with my predictions for Best Picture. Um, and the winner. Stay tuned, folks. Ah! Have I been sharing my screen? Who knows? Pause recording. We're back, folks. Come on, let's go. I have not revealed these yet. This will be the first time the world has seen them. My predictions, my picks. You might be able to see if it with a keen eye. You might be able to see what I've got my eye on as far as the winner. Ow. Um, my ankle's been hurting me. That's not what's important. I think I'm gonna put this out where I release the video, whatever, however long I go all the way, and then I chop it up and put out like individual segments like this one, like you're watching. So if you're just watching this one, hello, and if I crop it out, if I do crop it out, if not, I might just sound like a moron. But thank you for joining us and welcome. Hello, friends. My picks for Best Picture for 2027. I'll describe them a little bit as a refresher, and also in case I chop it up and people that did not see the ramblings that I just had for the last 40 minutes. The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. We all know that's going to be nominated. I think it's safe to say. The Odyssey, Digger, Wild Horse 9, Fjord, Jack of Spades, Inc., Bunker, 1949, Dune, Messiah, Project Hail Mary. The ones I feel best about, The Odyssey, Digger, Wild Horse 9, obviously Fjord and Jack of Spades, but I mean Project Hail Mary has that like 10th nomination. Not that I don't think it's like a good movie and deserves it. I said that weird, but I think it's safe to say it's going to get nominated. Even Dune Messiah, the alternates that I like, I'm not going to chop this up. I'm going to do this all in one video. If you don't watch the whole video, screw. Um, all of a sudden, I mean, Drive My Car was a big player. His last one wasn't so much. This one feels like it could be more Oscar. I had this one in the nominations, but I wasn't getting that bold. I have two foreign language movies in there. Um, all of a sudden, I think is like not my 11. The Eisenberg musical, I think if it's big, grand, and great, it'll get in. I mean, if it's good enough, it'll get in, I think is safe to say. Like, that's a movie that has all the chances in the world. I'm a little bit skeptical. It might be, I feel like it could be like a bit of a stinker. I don't smell a stinker. I don't have an eyebrow. I'm excited for it, but I just think like there's a chance that it's not a lock to be incredible, right? Like a Jesse Eisenberg musical. Cry to Heaven, if it comes out, I think I might move it into Best Picture, into my picks. I don't know what I would bump, maybe 1949, but yeah, if it comes out, it's going to be a major player. Saturn Return, I think there's an S in there. I had this in there earlier as well. I swapped 1949 in for it. But Greg Quidar's last two movies were big players. Rachel Brosnahan, I think none of these actors have gotten the awards love. So this one I think could easily be a stinker. I think I smell stinker the most out of these ones. The font's too small. Death of a Salesman, yeah, could definitely be in there. I'm probably gonna get all of these right. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Why can't it get nominated? It's incredible. Why can't I throw it in my nominations? Because there's a little bit of integrity and I can't let my biases get in the way. But until I feel it shouldn't be there, I'm going to keep it in my alternates so I can always say that I told you there's a slight chance. What about international? What about international? Best actor. Gonna take a little less time, but still, this is gonna be a while, folks. Tom Cruise, Guy Pearce, John Malkovich as my safe bets. Again, they feel like the meatiest roles, even like what you're going through. Like Tom Cruise playing a crazed, powerful man. He's hitting like dance moves. He's acting wild, unhinged. Guy Pearce playing Robert Murdoch. That might even be supporting. And Jack O'Connell maybe should be here. But a famous guy that people hate. I mean, I feel like it's almost like the Sebastian Stan playing Trump, but people aren't going to be as afraid to nominate him. And Guy Pearce already almost won for The Brutalist and maybe should have won. So I feel like it's safe to put him in here. And I had Sam Rockwell in, but whoever the lead of Wild Horse 9 was going to be in here. And John Malkovich almost makes me more confident and even in its ability to win because it feels like a good career achievement kind of thing, you know? Josh O'Connor in Jack of Spades. I don't know anything about what this movie's about, and it's a little bit of my biases getting in the way because I love the guy. He's one of my favorite actors. Um, yeah, depending on the material, if he's given the good, if it's the guy kind of thing where I'm confident that he's going to be given the material worthy of an Oscar nomination, and I'm confident that he's going to give the performance worthy if given the material. So maybe he should be in safe bets, but it's Josh O'Connor. You can't say him getting a nomination for the first time ever is a safe bet, like before even knowing what the movie's about. Matt Damon in The Odyssey. If there was ever a time, has he ever been nominated for an Oscar? He had to have been. Yeah, he had to have been. If there was ever a time to give him one, I feel like this would be it. It's going to be his best chance. He's going to be doing it all. He's going to be doing. He's getting physical. I mean, oh, he won the screenplay. Durr. And he was nominated for Best Actor for The Martian, I believe. What was 2010? What was 98? This is going to bug me. This is going to bother me. The Martian and Invictus? Interesting. But I mean, lead of the Nolan movie, lead of the Odyssey. He's going to be doing a lot of big stuff. Um, Chalamet in Dune 3 would have been in players before I saw the trailer, and the fact that he's bald, the fact that there's going to be makeup and prosthetics. The Academy loves that crap, you know. They eat that garbage up. And he already has the overdue narrative. It grows every single year at this point, and he already feels like people are like he was robbed from Marty Supreme. I had the stupid mustache to already prove my support. I think I might grow it till he wins one at this point. Um, but it's already the Rob narrative. It could be Return of the King kind of thing, but just for him, maybe could he use the Return of the King kind of like he could ride that momentum. If any actor would win for this movie, it's going to be him. It's too small. I should have the computer right here. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Nicholas Holt for Cry to Heaven again feel pretty good about it in contenders. I mean, if it comes out, it'll be a major player. He's talented enough if he's given the material. I've never seen a Tom Ford movie. Um, but I love Nicholas Holt. Brad Pitt and Cliff Booth. I already talked about his chances. He has to be great to win, but I could see him getting the nomination again. I could really see him getting that nom again because the movie looks cool. Javier Bardem in two movies, in Bunker and The Beloved. Bunker feels more likely, the Florian Zeller movie. And the Beloved just less likely. Maybe that should be in players. But I just don't like or I just like his chances in the other one more. I like his chances in Bunker much more. Robert Aramayo for BAFTA. For Jesus, he won the BAFTA. I'm all rattled. I'm all tired. Robert Aramayo for I Swear. I remember what all these movies are. Um, he already won the BAFTA. That's why he's in contenders. I mean, need I say more? He's won the biggest award out of anyone here, any acting award. Brad Pitt for The Riders. More Oscar. He's like taking care of his daughter and taking care of land in Europe. So, and Edward Berger. I mean, come on. Charles Melton for Saturn Returns. Pedro Pascal for Behemoth. Two guys that haven't gotten love from the Academy. The roles, we don't know how much they're going to be given to do. Two good actors. I like Melton's chances more. I don't know why I paired them up. Hans Zischler is a very old man, I believe. He's 89, I think. He's or 83. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's never gotten recognition. He's not gotten much recognition from anyone throughout his career, and it feels like a award campaign kind of thing. Like I can already kind of see the awards campaign coming together. Like these are his first. Like it's like a short round kind of thing. And if he's great in 1949 with Sandra Hüller, I mean, he could easily almost piggyback her like steamroll her sweep. If she like is great in the movie, he could like piggyback that and get a nom. Adam Driver in Paper Tiger, more likely than Robert Pattinson in the drama. I feel like I can get rid of him. Um, what are the other James Gray movies? Oh, he's a great actor. He's a really great actor. If anyone from that movie will get nominated, and the lead actor is kind of a bloodbath this year, but he's a great actor. If he's given the material, he'll knock it out of the park. John Turturro for Best Pickpocket in New York, that would be an overdue thing. Even the nomination would be the win. Jeremy Allen White for The Social Reckoning, I think it's gonna stink. I think the movie's really just gonna blow. Um, yeah, so I don't. I like. I smell stinker, much like with Bruce. He's a good actor. I don't know how great he is. I won't put him in my nominations this time. I was for sure he was going to get in and maybe even win for Springsteen, but I don't know. This one just smells like a stinker. I know what you're saying at home. Zach Sorkin actors get in. Don't you think the Academy gets smart? Like gets a little smarter? Don't you think they're getting a little smarter every year? I don't know why I even have reason to believe that, but I feel like they should be learning something. Jafar Jackson for Michael, I just don't think the movie's gonna be good. I know he kind of looks like him because he's his nephew, and he can like sing like him, sort of, and hits some of the moves. But I think the movie's gonna be an absolute drag. I think the movie's gonna be pissed. I think that if the movie's shit, he won't get nominated. And I'm pretty confident the movie's gonna be shit and like get ripped up the way that it should. It could be more Wicked 1 than Wicked 2. That's the thing, though. I could see the psyop more with people convincing themselves they like it, which would just be break my heart. Dominic Sessa for Tony. Never saw Blackberry. Um, but I mean, if he's great in The Holdovers. So if he's given something great to do, why not? You know. Anders Danielson Lee for Bill Evans. Keanu Reeves for Entertainment System is Down. Josh O'Connor for what's his other one? Oh, Disclosure Day. I mean, Denzel Washington, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nick Cage, Andrew Garfield for Artificial. Maybe I'll move Andrew Garfield up to players. Denzel's always there. Nick Cage should maybe be in wild cards. Speaking of wild cards, Anders Danielson Lee is from the Renata Reinsva Joaquin Trier movies. He's a good actor. Him on his own, it's almost like paying like a number three option, like 35 million a year. Like it's going to be a Brunson kind of thing, or it's going to be like a Timothy Mozgov thing, where it's like this guy actually stinks without the without like someone to carry it. Um, Hwang Jun Min, not going to pretend to know what movie he's in. I'm sorry, buddy. Seth Rogen's in The Invite, which whatever. Ethan Hawke is in The Wait, which premiered at Sundance and went to Berlin at a competition that has great reviews. So who knows? Fred Hetchinger, already forget, and Anthony Ippolito plays Rock. I play Rock. Whatever. Um, and the nominees are Tom Cruise, Digger, Guy Pearce, Inc., John Malkovich, Wild Horse 9, Josh O'Connor, Jack of Spades, Javier Bardem, our bunker. I would swap out. I feel like I did. I'm swapping out Josh O'Connor and Jeremy Allen White right now. Or Jeremy Allen White. Jesus. Jeremy Wright. Jeremy not White, I should say. I think I still that's like an Abbott Elementary joke, but I'm not taking credit for it or anything. It's not like it's a great joke. Yeah, that feels more likely. In Death of a Salesman, like Jack of Spades, I want him to get nominated. And the one alternate, like shot Guy Pearce is like all those guys feel safe. And Cruz is my winner because wow, I didn't say why I had Digger as my winner, but I just feel like it's gonna be big, bold, it's gonna be carried by him. It's gonna be wild, there's gonna be big swings, there's a great director at the helm. I just feel confident about this whole package. If you're looking at packages, I mean the one battle after another package was great. The Digger package does not feel far off. It's a great, incredible, brilliant director who was never I know he has one best director and best picture, but and an actor he's almost the Paul Thomas Anderson in this movie, the overdue guy who's got to get his due. Um, and then I have him winning Best Actor. I have him getting his due, as you can see. Javier Bardem for Bunker. It's a Florian Zeller movie. I like his chances there. Malkovich, I already talked about. Jeremy Allen White, Death of the Salesman. Guy Pearce has Murdoch. He could be in supporting, but anyway. Um, Alternate, Matt Damon, I feel like, is the one I'm probably omitting because I just don't really want him because it feels boring. I feel like the Matt Damon nomination just kind of goes along with picture. It's like, oh, he's Odysseus, throw him in there. Or he'd be the fifth nominee, much like Michael B. Jordan. Hopefully, there wouldn't be like just throwing in a guy who's attached to the movie. Ideally, there would be no, I don't know what slurs you could yell at Matt Damon that would make people want to give him the Oscar. Maybe you have to consider that. Maybe you have to consider what Robert Aramayo's, what the guy who plays might yell at these award shows. So if you're predicting who might win, you might have to figure out if he's going to be at like the SAGs, which is right in the middle of the awards voting. At least it was this year. So, like, if you're, I don't know, just like picking a random actor, if you're Jeremy Wright and you can get that guy there, the guy who Robert Aramayo plays, like to go to the SAGs, and then you're like kind of like you win the award, you're kind of like, all right, you're kind of like pausing in between things, so everyone can hear anything if someone happens to yell a word. Um, I can see Jeremy Wright winning. I actually love him. If I had to pick another alternate, Hans Zischler. Sorry, based actress. Sandra Hüller, Renata Reinsva, Juliette Binoche, Frances McDormand are my safe bets. Sandra Hüller for Rose. I didn't have Rose listed. She won Best Actress at the Berlin Film Festival. She won right on the Golden Lion, the Golden Bear. She won whatever the top acting prizes. Wow. Um, she's won. She's got the top. She's got the belt right now. She's got the number one award in this whole lineup. So you kind of have to have her there. Renata Reinsva for Ford opposite Sebastian Stan. They've already had great chemistry in A Different Man. She's coming off of maybe her best performance in Sentimental Value, her Oscar nomination. Not an overdue thing, but it's like keeping the momentum. Juliette Binoche, Binoche, nominated twice, won once. Frances McDormand, a god. So I feel like no, I feel like the three, and then the Binoche is the fourth. Julianne Moore, think it's a meaty role. Think she's got a really good chance. I do. I really like her chances. Virginia Efri. I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong all night. She's in that. All she's in all of a sudden. I feel like that could be a player. Anne Hathaway for Mother Mary. That should probably be in players. That's probably too high. Ruth Madley maybe should also be in players. She's the lead of the Coda Woman's follow up. Or is it the Coda Man? Anyway. Um, it's maybe you got to buy into that. Penelope Cruz for Bunker, opposite Javier Bardem. I mean, the chemistry is going to be incredible. The acting's going to be unbelievable. She might even be supporting, but I bet she gets in. What's Barbara Lennian? I guess we'll never know. Barbara Lenny, that's my favorite actor. I don't have her written down. Is Zach Popcorn a fraud? for not knowing what movie Barbara Lenny stars in this year. So I was watching Zach Popcorn, and then he didn't know what movie Barbara Lenny was in. I feel like we should all unsubscribe. How far down is it? Is she in a movie? She's in Bitter Christmas. The guy who made Parallel Mothers and Painting Glory. So you kind of got to throw her up there. I don't know who she is. I don't know what her story is. I don't know what kind of movie she's been in, but she's clearly. But you kind of got to throw her in the mix, especially considering that track records. Players, Cynthia Erivo has the ball. If she scores with it, it's not like it's like a big knock on her if she doesn't get nominated. But if she's incredible in the movie based on a one-woman show, she definitely has a good chance. Kirsten Dunst for the entertainment system is down. I mean, could be great. Really could be. Oscar Namal is in, I think, Yellow Letters, I believe. No, she isn't. Yes, she is. I'm that good. It won the Golden Lion. She's the star of that movie, so I feel like you kind of got to throw her in there. Michelle Williams is in a movie with Daisy Edgar Jones, which they might be like in a relationship. So I threw her in here because the director was well known. Um, yeah, I feel like I felt like throwing her in. Riley Keough is in the Andre Sellers movie. Which one is that? Come on. You know, people who talk about these movies so annoying. I don't know, I'm looking for again. Out of This World. A lot of the smaller awards for his previous stuff. I was looking at Barbara Lenny. What a fool. Or no, I mixed up the names. Yeah, no, Riley Keough. Okay. An American Delegation. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the smaller awards going back. She's a minor player. A Chance, Rachel Brosnahan. I don't really see it. Emily Blunt. I don't see it for Disclosure Day. Lily Rose Depp for Werewolf, I don't see it. Daisy Edgar Jones for Sense and Sensibility, don't see it. Kiki Palmer for I Love Boosters, don't see it. Zendaya for the drama, don't see it. Obviously, Jenny Ortega, Olivia Wilde, Leah Seydoux, and Emma Mackey don't see it. Mason Reeves, I think if she can category fraud down to supporting actress at 8, 9 years old, that gives her a much better chance. I think putting her in lead is a disservice to her and the rest of her career. I think whoever's her agent and publicist needs to have a long talk with old Zach Popcorn. My predictions: Renata Ryan's for the win, Sandra Hüller, Juliette Binoche, Frances McDormand, and Penelope Cruz to get nominated. I like this five. That's a really good five. I've never seen Juliette Binoche in something, but that's a real. The other four, like that's a strong four. I think I'm gonna get all five. I really do. Um, my favorite alternate would be Virginia. Virginia. I don't know why I'm pronouncing it right like that. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes. Then Virginia Efri. Moving on. Next up, we have supporting actor. Oh my God, I was pressing my laptop. I was poking the screen. Sam Rockwell and Jack O'Connell for the safe bets. I mean, Jack O'Connell could be lead if that's Guy Pearce. He's also in safe bets. And Sam Rockwell, he won a supporting actor award for his last Martin McDonagh movie, and this one feels very much like the chance. He's an incredible actor. I feel like he could definitely get in again with this role, playing off of Malkovich too. Like the two-man game, it's gonna be it's relying entirely on the two of them. Don't know much about Jack O'Connell's like that this much of that movie. Tom Courtenay is in Queen at Sea. Yeah, follows a woman who's concerned for her aging mother. She moves back alone with her daughter. Silver Barrel, a lot of great reviews. How old is he? Like, are all these guys that I'm predicting just old? And I'm just like, oh, come on, just imagine the 90-year-old guy winning an award. Wouldn't that make you want to cry? No, he's a regular guy. Yeah, he's won a lot of awards. He won a lot of acting awards. He's a super talented guy. I could see him getting in for Best Supporting Actor, actually. Maybe I should have him in later. Or was I? Very annoying operation on this iPad. Um, yeah, I think that he's got a great case. Steve Buscemi in Wild Horse 9. Not so much based on the trailer. It seems like he's on the phone a lot, talking. Like it's not like he's a lot of face to face bouncing off people. Coleman Domingo from Michael. I think I feel great about him getting in, no matter how bad the movie is. I think it's like even if he like kind of overreacts, I think those clips will go around. And, like people will be like, "Oh my God, this is Paul Giamatti for the Jesse Eisenberg musical. If he's singing and dancing and doing it well a couple times, and then is just acting really well the rest of the movie, then we're in for a treat, and he could definitely get in because he's just the greatest. I love the guy. Ruffalo for that Code of Woman's movie. I mean, you kind of got to just throw it in. Dylan O'Brien should be up here too. Then John Goodman for Digger. People have he's been the takeaway, not the takeaway, but I saw people mentioning him after like the first like one of the first batch of test screenings. Stephen Graham for Bunker. I'd imagine it's going to be a meaty role as a billionaire. That movie could very easily see its way to three nominations, three acting nominations. Paul Dano, what's he in? I don't know what I don't know what he's up to right now. Oh, is he in Bunker? Anyway, he's great. If he's given the material, he'll knock it out of the park. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know who Leonardo Sparagli is. In fact, it would be incredibly disingenuous to do so. He's in Bitter Christmas, actually. I just looked it up. He's opposite Barbara Lenny. The last two I actually didn't know. Isn't that crazy? He could definitely get in. A lot of meat on the bone for these roles. He could definitely get in. Jeremy Strong for The Social Reckoning as Mark Zuckerberg. I just feel like this whole thing feels very Walmart. It feels very McDonald's. It feels very knockoff. I just don't think it's going to be good. I don't at all. Um, Aaron Taylor Johnson for shit. Cry to Heaven. If it comes out, maybe he'd go up to contenders. I don't know what I've seen him in that actually has knocked my socks off and thought Oscar contender, but this could be the one. This could easily be the one. Miles Teller, it was years ago. I don't know what I was even saying there. My mind is scrambled. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, Miles Teller, it was years ago when I decided that he was good. I saw him in something great 11 years ago. A movie that came out 12 years ago. I'm lost, but I'm finding what I'm trying to say. He's in James Gray's movie. Never been a supporting buzz for his movies off of Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. A good third cast, third fiddle. Yura Borisov in Artificial, Luca Guadagnino. People are predicting Jeremy Strong. I would predict him. He almost won for Nora. I feel like he was the number two that year. Um, and he's great. If he's great in that movie, I mean, you never know. Josephine, Channing Tatum, I think he should be up in contenders. He's got a damn good chance. Kit Connor, don't know what he's in. Corey Hawkins, Death of a Salesman, again, incredible chance. Bill Pullman, Giancarlo Esposito, Daniel Bruhl, Christian Bale, Will Arnett, Daniel Lings, Raul Aravallo, Kojiler, DeFaro Wunatai, George McKay. None of these people really have a chance. But if you get category fraud, even with like a nomination in international feature, like someone like, I don't know, Jay McCarroll for his role in Nirvana, the band that showed the movie. Yes, he's the number two in the duo, but he's the backbone and the heartbeat of that movie. And he's so damn good in it. He really is. Every time he has to do some great acting, he really does do that. He's incredible in the movie. Why not? Eh? Why not? Jack O'Connell, Sam Rockwell, John Goodman, Paul Giamatti, and Coleman Domingo are my picks to get nominated. Sam Rockwell is my pick to win. I'm switching that to Giamatti. I want the star to be official. I'm switching it to Paul Giamatti for the Jesse Eisenberg musical. You know, I think he's going to be great, and I think he's going to be incredible. I think he's awesome. My favorite of my alternates is Tom Courtenay. My others are Kyozo Nagasuka, who's in the Virginia F. Fiera movie. All of a sudden, I should say, the Ryusuke Nagatsuka. Oh my god, I just guessed on the last name and said the last Asian name I said. Ryusuke Hamaguchi. Tom Holland for The Odyssey, which I just don't see because he's a terrible actor. Corey Hawkins, Death of the Salesman. Tom Courtenay, as I said, for no, yeah, Queen at Sea, and then Stephen Graham for Bunker. Courtney, I can see getting in over O'Connell. Last category. I didn't do directing because, again, I'm a bad person who's going to go to hell. Parker Posey, Wild Bets 9, Claire Foy, Inc., Sandra Hewler, Digger. Sandra Hewler's here, what, three times? Um, Sandra Hewler for 1949, actually, I think is what she's up here for. And I think she's the number one. Parker Posey for Wild Horse 9. She should probably just be for contenders because when I watched the trailer, I don't remember seeing her. And Claire Foy, just as the woman in ink, I think is a good safe bet to get in. Anna Calder Marshall is also in. No, she's not in 1949. Is she? 1949. No, she's in Queen at Sea. So, and she's just like Tom Courtenay, where she's like never really been nominated anywhere. She's like, Tom Courtenay has been. She's like, what's that guy's name? Hans Zischler, where she's like got bounced around. She's been in a couple things actually, and she's never really broken out. But if she's great in this movie, Anne Hathaway for The Odyssey, I don't think she'll have much, but it'll be a step down like performance wise from The Odyssey. So I don't think like her can really compare to Emily Blunt because that was a great role. But she could get in. If the movie's so good, she could definitely get in. Sandra Hewler here is for Digger. I imagine she's going to be trying to keep old Digger in check somehow. I like her chances more in 1949. How often do they nominate two actresses from the same from different movies in the same year? This could be the year. Michaela Cole from Mother Mary should be down to players. I don't know why I'm higher on those acting categories. Maybe I should actually see it. Um, but yeah, he's. I could see her. Oh my God, Michael Cole is a WWE commentator. I don't know if I've said him, but the fact that the names are so similar, Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, she could easily, if she's good enough, and like it seems like an unhinged role, she could kind of be like a heartbeat of the movie kind of thing. Scarlett Johansson and Octavia Spencer for Death of a Salesman. I like her chances much more. And then Scarlett Johansson in the James Gray movie. I just don't like her. She should be down to players. She's a great actress. She should have won two Oscars in one night, maybe in 2020 at the 92nd. But Octavia Spencer, I think, in Death of a Salesman feels even kind of safe. Nia Long for Michael. Like I feel like it'll be less baity than the dad. Still a good actor. Sandra Hewler for. I have her in every category. That's interesting. This one, I guess, we'll assign the one in a chance we won't do. I don't think that one matters. Um, this is for Project Hail Mary, and she's just a quiet, reserved, great role in this movie, and she would ride the movie's coattails if it like Gosling gets a nomination. Like it could be like, why not her? Because like he plays well, so well off of her. Like the stakes she lets the stakes be known better than anyone, I think. And she does like great actor thing in a blockbuster where like it's just great to have him. Like it's not like it's like, oh look at that, that's like that's John Hamm or Ed Harris. It's like no, this is an actress that 90% of the people won't know, but she's just great. Adele, if she's good in Cry to Heaven, and if the movie comes out, she goes up to safe bets, I think, because it's just like it'll be over exaggerated and over praised if she's good. And if it's bad, it'll be overshadowed on. Cara Buono, I think, is in the Jesse Eisenberg musical. So, Gemma Chan and Josephine could be in contenders because a lot of buzz, even though it's Sundance. Tao Okamoto, bad person. Don't know what movie he's in. She's in. Esme Creed Miles is she Sense and Sensibility? Why would I find sensibility this high up? Has she been nominated for Crap Film before? Yeah, the woman from Sense and Sensibility I put in here. And then Daisy Edgar Jones for that movie that she's in with Michelle Williams, Monica Barbaro for Artificial, the movie that she's in with her boyfriend, Andrew Garfield. I think that movie has a chance. It's Luca Guadagnino, so you can't really make it, especially after the Hunt last year. I feel like everyone's scarred and wouldn't want to make this like one of their big predictions, but I don't know, buying a little stock of this one because everyone's selling. And Julianne Nicholson in what? I don't know. Penelope Cruz for the. I had this for the invite, I think. No, not happening. Sandra Hewler for whatever. Elizabeth Delau for, again, I'm not really sure. And what is Thomas and Mackenzie in for? Who knows? I have to use a bathroom. I'm going to pause one last time and then we're going to finish this thing. Once and for all. Huzzah! Come on. Supporting actress nominations. The meat of the freaking episode. What you came here for. What everybody wants to talk about. Who is going to not only get nominated, but who will be taking home what very well might be the first Oscar at the 99th Academy Awards, the Best Supporting Actress trophy. I'm excited. We have a lot of interesting contenders. We don't know a lot about these roles, especially for the two at the top of the safe bets. We have Sandra Hüller in three separate movies. Which way is this going to go? We have a pop star, an internet pop star sensation, in Adele. We have Scarlett Johansson. We have Anne Hathaway in one of the biggest blockbusters of the year. There's a potentially overdue elderly woman in Ann Calder Marshall. This is an interesting award season. We have Michaela Cole, Octavia Spencer starring in Death of a Salesman, a movie sure to have plenty of decisive monologues and quick talking speeches, sure to string up interest from the Academy voters. I'm trying to go for like a Tucker Carlson delivery here as I roll up my sleeves. I feel like it was decent. I didn't fall into the Nick Bowen what is going on. Let's do it. There it is. Parker Posey, Claire Foy, Sandra Hewler for 1949, Octavia Spencer, and Anne Hathaway, Anna Calder Marshall, Michaela Cole, Tao Okamoto. I'm replacing Tao Okamoto with another Sandra Hewler for Digger or Project Hail Mary. Which one may that be? Who knows? And Julianne Nicholson, I'm also replacing. What's she in? Because I have her. I didn't know what she was in, and I just skipped over her. Oh, is she? She's not. Oh, I can search. Julianne. Come on. No, I don't have her name written down in this presentation. Did I make up that actor while I was tired? Who's my other alternate? They're both Sandra Hüller. I think she'd get nominated for both. The one I feel worst about in there, who would I replace? None of them. I just think Sandra Hüller for 1949 or any of these movies, not Project Hail Mary, but Digger, she could also get that win for. I think that that's an Oscar Beatty role. If I had to pick another one, if that's the one that she goes for lead, no, she won't go for lead for that. She's going to go for lead for Rose. If I had to pick a backup to get nominated, again, I already said it would be the second Sandra Hüller. If I had to pick a backup winner, Claire Foy, Parker Posey would be interesting. It's wide open. I just don't really. There's a lot that you don't know about. Isn't that interesting? There's a lot that you don't know about. What a beautiful sentiment. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Um, that just about does it. I don't know how long. Oh, this is a tease for next time, just because I never ended up finishing. I don't know how long we've been going for. I really don't. Um, but it's been a hell of a time. It's been a hell of a ride. Time, it says 8:45. It's about 2:30 a.m. I've been going for about 2.5 hours with pauses and such. I believe, maybe a little less. Um, if anyone tuned in the whole time, you're a true. You care the way people should. You're the backbone of the award season, and we're going to be on this journey for the next year. I'm going to be coming at you maybe once a month. No, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be doing a cut. My nose is super itchy. That I'm not picking my nose. Um, but with the con lineup, I'm going to be right back at you with a little. I'm going to be coming at with something about that. We're going to be on track of this, on top of this award season this entire time. There's going to be nobody in the world more tapped in over this next year than me. I promise you. There's nothing I care about more. Am I a loser for that? Yes. Is it a necessity that this world needs and something that, yeah, I'll say that yeah, it's a goddamn necessity. Yes, it is. And I am the one that's doing it. I'm the one that's sacrificing my life and my time to give you all this wonderful information. Thanks for watching. My nose is so itchy. Like I said, like and subscribe. My nose is so itchy. Oh my god. I don't know how to end. I never know how to end this. I'm complaining, but I just figured it out. Thanks for watching, folks.